We work directly with the customer. The engineering department will do a dissection of their product. We'll do a market test of all the components of their product. And then we come back and develop a plan of what is the best possible approach. And then we do testing and confirm all of our assumptions. And then we'll put a plan together for the customer to see if they want to move forward. BioSAFE is a sophisticated engineering and development and service company, primarily focused on infectious waste, but not limited to infectious waste. And we bring our core technologies into each customer's panorama and try to figure out how we can help them meet their goals, both in terms of infection control and in recycling and sustainability. So for many of our customers, they have a plastic that is contaminated because plastics are used in medicine, plastics are used in agriculture, containerization of devices is very common through those fields. And so when we are asked to decontaminate those materials, the natural inclination is, okay, now we've decontaminated it. What can we do? And it's not just limited to plastics. We continue to look at all of the waste that we are presented with to see if it can be recycled, if it can be repurposed. And when I say repurposed, some of the waste cannot be effectively recycled, either chemically or physically, but can it be made into a different product? Can it be used as a plastic filler? Can it be used in a brick? What can we do with it? We get into the panorama of what is the problem of the customer and try and come up with a solution. So in the case of one of our customers, there was a medical device customer, and they had used medical devices that had been touched by human tissue and human liquids. So it needed to be decontaminated. But it was made of 3 or 4 different types of plastic, one of which was very valuable, one of which had some value, and one of which was an undetermined value, but comprised quite a bit of the volume. Part of that process is we go to the engineering team at the customer, and then we work with that engineering team to say, okay, what's in that product you want us to treat? What's the components? We see their build sheets, their MSDSs, and we go out and we research the market for recycled individual components. And then we sit down and say, okay, how do we recycle that component, all those components together? Do we need to have some pre-separation? Once the 2 parts of their device were separated, we could treat them separately for infection control and then send them to distinct recycling lines. Coming out of the recycling business, and especially out of the automotive recycling business, there were 2 goals. One, to get the most money out of their product. And the second one was to make sure their product was destroyed so that it never went back in the market, which is a real problem in the auto parts business. Leakage in that business means the stuff ends up at flea markets, which means it sooner or later goes back into the repair shops, which means then there's a warranty or a loss claim. And the customers were concerned solely about those 2 things. They wanted money. They wanted to make sure their stuff was destroyed. Over the last 20 years, those 2 goals are still in for many companies. In the case of the plant work, the GMO greenhouse, they wanted their IP destroyed, period. That was their number 1 goal. They wanted to decontaminate. They wanted their IP destroyed. And then they wanted to save money on how they disposed of the dirt. As we go forward and get toward the single-use plastic business, the focus has really enlarged to, I want the smallest footprint I can get. There is a real acknowledgement of the marketplace that wants sustainability. They want to market all, they want to sell themselves as the greenest or a net zero company. I will tell you that many companies talk it and many companies fake it. Many of the customers we talk to at this point are engaging directly in not dumping the problem on somebody else because they want the street cred that they're recycling, that they have that sustainability. And many of these companies have published sustainability goals, and we're trying to help them meet those goals. And oftentimes waste is the single biggest opportunity to meet those goals. Because it's clearly something was you take something that was going in the landfill and being trucked to the landfill. And if you turn it into a recycled product, it's a huge story.